Hello everyone, welcome back to the bloody Omaha campaign. This is a side mission. It is French country, so it's basically free for all, but it's on a 4x4 table and it's going to be covered in hedges and bocage. So that's why I've decided to take mostly infantry for this one, since it's going to be bogged down, lanes of fire. Don't really think it's going to be much of a master tank clash. I'm trying the Greyhound command card again, so my Panzergrenadiers are going to be part of the 116th Panzer Division, so as you know that is a worse skill rating and a worse last stand rating. So let's have a look what I've got. Just one formation again, Panzergrenadier Company. All teams are upgraded with Panzerfaust, so that includes the HQ's team. And the two full platoons of Panzergrenadiers have Panzerfausts and Panzerschrecks this time. I'm also taking the 4 12cm mortars and 3 Pak 40s. In support are 4 Flak 88s, 4 Tiger 1s and 3 Wesps. I also have the Lucky Command card, as well as the host of upgrade cards I've had over the campaign, which I'll probably still hold on to, since the last game is what counts in this campaign. So let's have a look what the Americans are bringing. And this is the force Dave will be using for the bloody Omaha French country mission. 2 formations again for the Americans, an M10 company and a Veteran Armoured Rifle company. So for the M10 company, we have the HQ of the 2 scout cars, and then we have 3 units of 4 M10 3-inch guns. We have a Veteran Armoured Rifle company consisting of the HQ of 2 SMG teams with 1 50 cal half-track. We have a full platoon, which is 6 M1 Grand Rifle teams, 5 bazookas, 2 LMGs and a mortar, and their transport complement is 2 50 cal half tracks and 3 30 cal. At the back we have another platoon, but it's a short one, so that's just 4 M1 Grand teams, 4 bazookas, 2 LMGs and a mortar, and with them is just 4 half tracks, 2 50 cals and 2 30 cals. In support are 5 75mm Veteran M4 Shermans, and that is 108 points in total, so Dave is taking the Lucky Command card. So let's have a look at deployment. Deployment here for the German side, the mission is free for all, so it's just 12 inches out and then 8 inches the objectives go. So Dave has put an objective here and here. So I've put 1 platoon of infantry to cover 1 objective with some of the 75mm guns. The Flak 88s are on the hill with my formation commander. My 12cm mortars are hidden behind the hill. I have my Wesps in this little junction here, covered by the bocage. Second platoon is covering this objective, and my Tiger 1s are for now hidden. Hopefully you won't be able to see them clearly, just in case I don't get first in. For the Americans, we have some M10s in the woods on the left, with one of the short armoured rifle platoons covering this objective, with more M10s and the HQ behind the hill. We have 5 of the Shermans on this junction by here, waiting to go forward. And we have a full platoon of armoured infantry here with 4 M10s and the M10 company HQ. All the half tracks are currently in reserve. So now we're going to roll to see who goes first. Americans got first turn. They have moved some M10s onto the hill. Their Shermans, only the unit leader has moved, and he's moved up to here. And the M10s have moved in the woods, apart from this one who failed his cross check. So we're going into American shootout. American shooting, one of these boys tried taking on the Tiger, but he failed to hit. Pretty much everything else, the M10s, the Shermans and more M10s here, put their fire onto the Flak 88s considering them being the most dangerous threat to the Americans at this moment in time. 1 or 2 hit, but I passed all my saves, so they're not pinned, and now we're going to German turn 1. German turn, I had nothing to do with my startup phase, obviously no reserves, no morale checks. So for movement, I tactically moved my Tigers into cover of this bocage. This one didn't have enough movement, so I've left him in the cover of the woods. My Grenadier platoon on the right flank have moved up, also taking cover of the bocage here, and there was no room for this guy, so I've put him in the forest. So let's go into German shooting. German shooting has resulted in this. My formation commander ranged in the Wesps, and I killed an M10, bailed another, killed one of the formation units, so they're pinned. I also tried to range in the 12cm mortars with the remaining 2 attempts, and that failed. I missed with my 88s on these and on this Sherman exposed on the road. My Pak 40s, however, managed to take out 2 of the M10s that were visible to them through this gap in the bocage. So, American turn 2. American startup step, the M10 has failed to get back in, and with the reroll from the formation commander, still failed. The formation commander has rallied though, so now we're going into American movement. American movement, the 2 M10s have moved down the hill. They tried to cross to the bocage, but they both failed. The formation commanders moved up as well. Over here, these M10s have left the woods. One of them has failed to do a cross check. This unit of armoured infantry have moved as well. And over here, the M10s were intending to get out of the woods, but one of them failed to cross, the furthest one, and this one has moved out to here. And using Dave's Cullen Cutter's reward card, he has got all 4 Shermans to get over this hedge and go straight here. So I won't be able to see them because of the hedges, which is good. And now we're going to American shooting. American shooting has been inhibited a lot by the bocage. A lot of fire lanes have been completely blocked off by the tall terrain, but that is quite historically accurate. This M10 did have a few bursts of MG fire at the infantry over here, but did not hit anything. This M10 here could see the back end of this Tiger, hit but got bounced by the Tiger's front armour. The armoured platoon here tried to range in their mortar on the hill but failed. This Sherman here took some main gun shots at the 88s I could see, hit, but I passed my save. The M10 here had a shot back at these Pak 40s hidden by here, but has also failed to hit them. So the Americans throwing as much as they can, but not getting much. So German startup phase, I have nothing to do, so straight into German movement. Only German movement was on the right flank with the Tigers. I tried to do a blitz move, I failed, so I used my lucky command card. Second attempt was much better, so I've popped them out to take some shots at some M10s, well, I think the only M10 by there. These guys tried to dig in to secure their position a bit better. They failed, considering it's a 4+ now because of the 116th Armoured Division. Everything else is remaining stationary and will continue to fire at everything they can see of the Americans, as the bocage does work both ways. German shooting, my Tigers hit this M10, but Dave swapped it to this guy, which died. So then my Flak 88s had nothing to shoot at, apart from this Sherman, which they missed. In the assault step, the Tigers jumped back over. My formation commander from his vantage point on the hill ranged in by here. Ranged in the Wasps first, which killed the bazooka team, and then I ranged in my 12cm mortars, which killed another bazooka team, so this unit is pinned. Everywhere else my shots missed, so same again as the Americans, struggling to see anything, and what I can see I struggle to hit. So we're now going into Americans turn, startup phase first. American startup step, they have failed to rally, so they're not going any closer to my lines this turn. But they might dig in. American movement, these three have successfully passed their cross checks to go over the hedge. There's always one, he didn't. These guys attempted a blitz move to go over the hedge. They failed their blitz, and then Dave re-rolled it using lucky, and he failed again. So they're stuck there, but they have crossed over using a tactical move. Spot which one failed to make his cross check here out of the 5 Shermans. So they're in position to fire at the flak 88s. These M10s, this one passed his cross check, this one didn't. So now we're going into American shooting. American shooting, the M10s got 3 hits on these Tigers. 2 of them were equals, and 1 was a penetrating hit. Luckily, all 3 of them ended up being bailed, so hopefully I can get them back in to return the favour on these M10s over here. Further down, this M10 missed with his shot. This guy tried to hose down the infantry. These Shermans fired their main guns at the flak 88s on the hill, and they all missed. And the M10s, the remaining M10s, failed with their shooting. Dave again tried to range in his mortar on the hill, but failed. So I do have stuff to do in my German startup step. Hopefully I can avoid rolling ones. This is what I rolled for my remount. So 1 failed to get back in, but no need to roll for last stand since there's still plenty of active tanks here. So I think this should be enough to take my revenge on the M10s. Might have to get this guy onto the edge because he can't see anything at the moment. So let's go into German movement. My Tiger tank passed his cross check to get out to the edge of the woods. These Grenadiers have spotted that the time is to strike. So this guy who was in the woods is lagging behind. These guys have tactical moved to within assault range of these M10s. I don't think these guys will be able to help, but first of all I've got some anti-tank weapons to fire at them first. So let's go into German shooting and let's see how much I can whittle these boys down by. German shooting, I failed to hit with my Tigers over here. Over here I've rearranged in with the Wesps and the 12cm mortars, and I have killed the opposing mortar on this team. Over here my infantry anti-tank weapons have bailed out 1 M10, so this is definitely going to be an assault for me this turn. Over here my flak 88s failed to hit anything right in front of them. However, though the Pak 40s are pulling their weight, they have killed a Sherman and they have killed an M10. So this guy over here will have to be doing last stand tests now. So even if I kill this unit here, there's still enough M10s to keep them on the table because the HQ is hidden back here. But hopefully I'll be able to weather the storm from these M10s next turn. So we're going into assault. Assault over. 2 M10s destroyed. That is not through me destroying them, it's because they couldn't get away. Because I bailed both of them in the assault. I did lose my Panzer though, because this guy hit him once. I failed my save, but he also passed his 6 for the bulletproof cover from the barrage. So 2 M10s down for the price of a Panzer. So I think, yeah, that's pretty good. So now American startup phase. Let's see what they can do. American startup step, these guys are still pinned and at the mercy of my artillery. Over here the M10 has failed his last stand test, so for the M10 company what is remaining is the commander over here and the 4 M10s of this platoon, of which are playing havoc with these Tigers over here. So American movement. American movement, the formation commander did a cross-country dash around the hill to link up with this platoon that needs some motivation. Over here this armoured platoon have left their foxholes and has moved cross-country to go for this objective to support the tanks. 1 tank did get over the hedge. These M20s I've moved to give motivation to this assault as well. So we're going into American shooting. American shooting has resulted in bailing another Tiger. That was all that happened on this right flank. Over here, the Shermans opened up on the Flak 88, getting 4 hits. I failed 2 of them, and then Dave failed 2 of his firepower tests. And that is what happened this turn. So I still have stuff to do in my startup step with these 2 Tigers. All 2 are back in, so I really want to get rid of these M10s now. So, German movement. German movement, the Tiger got out of the woods and he is lined up with his comrades to help out with some fire support here. Over here I've moved this Grenadier platoon tactically over to here, just in case the Tigers don't do their job. And then I realised if they don't do their job, I'm in trouble of losing a lot of infantry in the ensuing firestorm they're going to be going into. But I don't think I'll be able to get many, maybe 2 teams, and that's going to be that. Over here, nothing has moved again. I was considering moving the infantry, but since there's a lot of MGs over here, I'm happy to keep them in their foxholes for now and let the anti-tank guns and artillery do their work. So, German shooting. German shooting has been effective. 4 hits on the M10s resulted in 3 kills, since I couldn't see that one further back anyway. So the infantry had nothing to assault, so I fired their weapons at this unit here. I didn't hit anything. My artillery, both the Wesps and the 12cm mortars, have ranged in over here, and I killed a mortar team, so that's enemy artillery removed from the equation, and they're pinned. My Flak 88 have not hit anything again. That's 2 turns without them finding anything. Pak 40s, however, have managed to kill 3 more Shermans, so the Pak 40s are really carrying this flank, killing 3 M10s and 4 Shermans between them, so they're really showing up their bigger brothers. So American startup step, we got 2 pinned down units and a last stand test to do. Rally test, this unit failed even with help from this formation commander. Over here they passed, no need for a hand, and this M10 passed his last stand test, so these M20s are going to be here for another turn at least. So now we're going into American movement. American movement, this unit tried to dig in and they failed. Over here the platoon guarding this objective have left their foxholes to an attempt to assault on this platoon. The LMGs have stayed put since they won't be able to assault anyway. So let's go into American shooting. We also forgot that there was a Sherman that needed a last stand test. As you can see the gap, he failed. So now we're going into American shooting. American shooting has removed 1 base from these Grenadiers, but it wasn't from over here. It was from the command rifle team firing over there. We did measure it, and it did work out that you could just about see the Grenadier team that was by here. Dave's got a lot of cards to read because he's got Assault Monster, which is part of the Omaha campaign.
So your guys are pinned as well? So they can't move?
I have to unpin them.
Oh, right. Okay.
Assault is over. It resulted in a victory to the Americans. I lost 2 bases. The Americans lost more, I think, but I failed my counterattack, so I had to fall back into this field outside of 6 inches. And these guys here, I've consolidated behind the bocage to get bulletproof cover, because they took hits in assault. We're all pinned, so now we're in German startup phase. German startup step, I failed to rally, so my guys are not going to be moving any further towards the US lines. So German movement. German movement, I've moved my Tigers up, make a final push on this objective. The infantry, since they couldn't do anything else, have dug in, and I have dashed my Wesps over to cover my assault now on the right. Everything else has remained stationary. So now we're going into German shooting. German shooting, the Tigers couldn't see anything. This platoon here did have a few shots, and what they could see did hit, but I failed my firepower. What else? I took out an M20 scout car with a Pak 40, again really getting their points out of them, and I killed another bazooka team using the 12cm mortars on this armoured rifle platoon by here. So we're going into American startup step. American startup step was a success. Both platoons have unpinned, and this M10 is still sticking around. So, American movement. American movement, the rifle platoon and the formation commander have moved here to assault the Tigers. I should probably tell Dave now that you can't actually hurt them in assault. As I said, you learn something from keep on playing.
I'll never do the same thing next time round.
The M10 has moved over to here. The LMGs have stayed put so they can maybe pin down. With his aces cards, I need over 6 shots to stop the assault, and then he gets to immediate motivation to get him back in anyway. This platoon is moving over here. They train dashed, and the scout car went with them for motivation. So American shooting, and then hastily followed by an assault, I guess. American shooting, these two did fire at the Grenadiers. They did get 2 hits. I passed 1 save, and then Dave failed his firepower. The LMGs were actually out of range, so they couldn't add anything, and this M10 is too far behind the barrage to see anything, and these guys dashed. So we're going into assault. In the assault step, I killed 2 with cover fire. The Americans hit the Tigers and couldn't hurt them, but then I failed my counterattack, so everything had to move outside of 6, and the Americans have consolidated to here. So now we're going into German startup step, because I have a pinned down Grenadier team behind the head. In my motivation, these guys have failed to rally, so now we're going into German movement. German movement, there's some activity on my left flank. These guys terrain dashed outside of the woods. The unit leader went forward to try and inspire them to go after him, and they didn't want to. These guys have done what they can, which is dig in. The Wesps are staying put, and my Tigers are moved up to try and finish off what's left of this platoon, but there are still 2 more over there, but that is last stand testing. So, German shooting. German shooting, I've killed 1 more rifle team, and I've killed a bazooka team with my repeat bombardment, so now we're going into assault. I won an assault for once. That unit leader is gone, and I've consolidated up to here, and now we're going into American startup step. Motivation, the platoon here have failed to rally. Over here though, the M10 is still not running away, and these LMGs are still not running away, so the Americans still have 2 active formations. So American movement. American movement, this guy is blitz moved to here. The pinned down infantry have moved across, not going towards my units to cover this objective, and the M20 scout car has moved through here and has successfully crossed over. So American shooting. It's just basically going to be the M10. American shooting. I did hit a Tiger, but it got bounced, and then he failed his shoot and scoot, so he's stuck there. So we're going into German startup step. Just got this 1 pinned down Grenadier platoon, so I'll just do that now. He's still pinned. Okay, German movement. German movement, I've moved the Tigers around so they can get some clear shots. This guy didn't have much room, so he'll stay where he is. Also didn't want to block the view for the Wesps to try and range in. Over here, the Grenadiers are moving out, and I'm going to do a follow me with the unit leader. So you'll see the result of that and the German shooting. German shooting, I got 3 hits on the M10, although I failed all of my firepowers. He is dead as a result of failing his remount after being double bailed. My Wesps did not range in again. My 12cm mortars did range in. I hit them again, no kills, and also no kills on the scout car. So we're going into American startup step. Startup step, the Americans have rallied. They've passed their last stand, but the scout car has gone because the formation conditions, there's nothing keeping him here. So American movement, and it's pretty much game over, although I don't really fancy charging my Tigers into the remaining 3 bazooka teams that he has. So American movement. American movement, this armoured rifle platoon is not going to go out without fighting, so they have lined up 3 the Tigers with the side shots and the bazookas, so we're going into American shooting. This is a summary of the American shooting. As you can see, they missed. So now we're going into an assault. Unfortunately, the assault failed because I got 5 hits on the 3 bazooka teams. I killed 1 and they had to go back to where they started. So now we're going into the German startup. German movement, these guys have cross-country dashed and successfully followed me, so they're closer to the objective. These guys have unpinned, so they're going to shape up for an assault on the guys on the hill. And they should be pinned down by the Tigers, and the Wesps are going to have to range in further into the woods and catch these 2 because of the proximity of the Tigers. So let's go into German shoot. My shooting has eliminated the remainder of that first platoon, so it is victory, but I thought I'd go out with one final assault just to see what happens, because the margin of victory doesn't impact this campaign, but might as well. I like rolling dice, and well, we might see a few Grenadiers getting killed, which I think will make Dave a little happier. So let's go into assault. So this is the last part of the game. I did win my assault. I lost a Grenadier to cover fire, and I took out 2 bases of American infantry, who then failed to counterattack, so they run across the hill. Next startup step would just see the Americans fail in their formation test, so that would be game anyway. So we'll have a look to see what rewards we get from this game, and then I'll have a little talk about what our next mission is, which will be the final mission, and if Dave was to win it, he'll win the campaign, so all my victories will just be hollow. So let's see what our rewards are. For rewards, Dave got Cullen Cutters again. He's thrilled to bits to get that back. And I got Triage, so basically I discard that and I get to pass 2 infantry saves automatically. Next game is Bridgehead, and I'm the attacker. I've already picked my army for this while Dave is sat in the corner picking out his army. I have a plan already, so hopefully it'll go well, and hopefully I can throw the attackers back into the sea. So hope you enjoyed. Any rule queries, please point them out. I'm still learning the game, so is Dave. So yeah, feel free to ask any questions, and I hope you enjoyed. So I'll see you next time.